We sort of agree with Senator Obama in 2008 when he was running against her, and he said Hillary will say anything and do anything just to win.
And that's Kellyanne Conway, Donald Trump's campaign manager. She stepped out to talk exclusively to Fox Report as they were really getting into the thick of the debate prep. She says she likes how Barack Obama, then senator, went up against Hillary Clinton. Let's get back to the political insiders. Why do you think she likes that?
Because if they can make the case that Hillary is unprincipled, stands for nothing, and has no core values, Donald Trump will be the next president. Because the one thing about Trump, he has a worldview. If he articulates it and the Secretary of State does not, that's a huge advantage for her.
There was a poll earlier.
For him, sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, please.
That CBS had, and they had two questions I thought were interesting. Do you think that Hillary Clinton says what she believes? That's the real Hillary Clinton we're seeing in the campaign?
That she says what she believes.
Or is she just doing this for political purposes? It's not the real one. And they asked the same thing of Trump. Hers was overwhelmingly that it was not the real person. They knew that. Trump, whether they liked him or not, they thought he was for real. Boy, that's an advantage in a debate.
Isn't that, though, doesn't that speak to the issue, John, of just being an outsider? Well, I mean, if you haven't been honed in politics and sharpened by the barbs thrown, then you speak your mind, right?
Well, but a lot of people in politics are consistent and keep their position and aren't compromised. The problem with Hillary, she reminds me of Al Gore, which is over the years they've had so many different teams of advisors saying you ought to wear brown instead of blue.
Including me.
Yeah, and I'm sure you gave good advice. But they, in the end, they don't know who they are themselves. Now, if you look at Trump, if I ask you right now, tell me 3 things Trump says he'll do. 1, 2, 3. Tell me one thing that Hillary Clinton will do as president.
There isn't one. You're a Clinton confidant because you worked in the White House with Mr. Clinton when he was president. Is John right or wrong about that?
She used to be a New Democrat. Now she's for higher taxes. She is for more social programs, the potential of the public option on health care. I think Secretary Clinton isn't clear on who she is and what her message is.
She's for anything that will get her vote.
Yeah, she needs a clear vision.
I go farther back. As a young woman, she's a Goldwater girl. By the time of the Vietnam War, she's a new left Democrat. She's a Jane Fonda left-wing Democrat. And she's that way all the way through until Bill Clinton gets spanked at the midterm elections in '94, and they become the new moderate Democrats.
Well, I had something to do with that one.
Okay, great, but it's her, not you.
We're
talking about her. And then what happened? Because she's not that anymore either.
She lost to Obama, and she said she can't be beaten on the left. And as you saw, given the way she ran against Bernie Sanders, she moved hard left, which is hurting her now.
All right, I'll give you one area where it really hurts, and this viewer speaks to it. Pat, I'm going to throw this viewer's tweet to you. Lonnie Carroll says, do you think Trump's law and order will play an important role tomorrow night? I say that about Hillary Clinton because we've seen her kind of vacillate after some of the police officer shootings and her reaction.
Trump has done, with all the, whatever the moaning and groaning, and listening to Jesse Jackson thing was quite interesting, I thought, because what he was saying, Trump is at least going and making an effort, which no Republican would normally do, in the African-American community.
Well, there's some in the black community who are not going and making an effort. Look at Chicago.
Well, that's the point.
But I'm talking black community leadership.
Law and order is a huge issue, and it is his issue. And in a sense, he has been strong on that at the same time.
And wouldn't you say also immigration?
And not only immigration, but the issue that is now moving this country, I believe, after in the wake of what happened in New York and New Jersey and the other incidents, is the issue about refugees. She and President Obama are so far off where the American people, including many Democrats, are, that is could become a more significant voting issue.
You think it comes up tomorrow night?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I can't tell from Lester Holt's outline because it's pretty broad.
There's 2 blocks called Securing America.
But you get that's going to come up.
So that could be anything from Orlando, domestic terrorism to the wall.
There is an issue that is percolating. Law and order, stopping immigration, keeping out potentially dangerous refugees. That is Trump's issue. Secretary Clinton politically may well be, in her terms, morally correct in embracing the black community and embracing more immigration. But candidly, she could be hurt and hurt badly by her heartfelt position.
The other thing is, if she goes after I know that she's going to do. She's going to try to embarrass Trump and to say, "Are you going to apologize to so and so? Are you going to apologize to their cons? Are you going to do that?" Trigger. I think he's got to deflect her. The fact is, he said, "I would simply say there are things. I'm not a politician. There are things I regret, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you what you should be.
I don't regret standing up against immigration. Keep refugees who are dangerous."
And by the way, when you excuse me, let me just get this one point. When Mrs. Clinton, your comments about half the country, a quarter were a deplorable basket of people, which is what you really believe, and so does the political class, and the other quarter are too dumb to know better. You know what? That is, you should be apologizing to millions of Americans.
All right, so you've laid out the debate prep for both of them, mainly Donald Trump here.
Well, he is, let me just say, debates are vehicles of...
Does she have an advantage, though, because she's done this more?
Yes, she does. She has an advantage. She also has one theme she hasn't used: bringing people together. She's mouthed it a little, but neither candidate, and especially the secretary, has managed to emphasize the unity of the country against our adversaries.
She has spent $165 million or $200 million or whatever it is,
all she's done
attacking him, and all she's done is go down. She might have spent a little bit better on her, but it is the vehicle of challenge. One thing I understand about presidential
debates. Let me just say about Hillary, and I, as a Republican, I don't want to say it, but I have to say this: she's a much better candidate when she's in trouble, when her back is against the wall.
Because she's a fighter.
And she has blown the post-convention advantage that she had. And she knows she's in trouble. I think Doug has said the campaign's in panic over where
they are.
Can Trump go after her without worrying about gender? Real quick, because we got to go.
Yes.
He better worry about it a little bit. I think he should, because he's got a big gender gap.
Even and substantive and doesn't get into ad hominem.
He keeps saying, but she only represents something that's even worse, he'll be fine.